Hello, good afternoon, lecturers. The topic is the impact of the leadership on organization. Our members are Yang Xiao, Xu Liyuan, Ma Chenghao, and Shenpeng Kun. And this is Yang Xiao. My metric number is A172637. Firstly, let me do the introduction. And the first one is the research background. Leadership is considered as a process where one or more persons influence a group of persons to move in a certain direction. The word leadership has been used in various aspects of the human endeavor, such as police, business, academics, and social works. The goal of any organization is not only to survive, but also to sustain its existence by the improving performance. In order to meet the needs of the highly competitive markets, organizations must continually increase performance. Previous lecture suggests that the role of the leadership is critically important for achieving the performance of the organization. The second one, problem statement. The first one is what factor affects the control of the leadership skills over the organizational. The second one is how to implement leadership skills in organizational. The third one is which leadership skills are the better for leading organizations. The last one is what are the role of the different leadership skills in organizational. Next one is the scope of the research. The geographical location in the study is the word. The people for do the research is who are working or have working experience. We cover the series on the 7 primary leadership styles, which are autocratic styles, authoritative styles, passing style, Directory style, coaching style, and affiliative style, and laissez-faire style. We also cover the theory on actors that affects organization performance. Theory for styles of leadership a manager adopts has a direct effect on the organizational performance of the employment is also included. Next one, research objective and the scope of the research. The first one, objective, to determine the impacts of the leadership in the organization and the performance. The second one, to examine the relationship that exists between leadership and the organization performance. The third one is the scope of the research. The geographical location covered in the study is the words. The people for do the research is who are working for or having working experience. We also refer to the related professional series.
My name is Shenpeng Kun and my metric number is A172651. Part 2 is literature review. We found continuity and similarity. The results of the earlier investigation and research can be adapted in the later stage, and the later investigation and research can also take the previous work as a reference. In the earlier study, the results can be used as the literature research of the recent study. Qualitative analysis is the similarity of such study. Leadership is a subject with a long history, and most studies have used the literature research methods to find evidence. Interviews and observations are often used as research tools. We also found some issues. In the previous research, studies mostly relied on the original literature and theories for analysis, and we rarely used questionnaire surveys, which was difficult to implement in personal situations. So we use questionnaires to understand the actual situation of the research sample.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about the theoretical framework. In this study, we assumed 4 variables, which were age, gender, education background, and position. We will use these 4 variables to test our research objectives and discuss in details the possible relationships among these 4 variables. About the expected relationship among variables, first we believe that the educational background and position are mutually dependent variables. And in the most cases, there is a positive relationship between the degree and the position, because the higher the degree, the richer knowledge reserve, and the higher the education, the people will get more resources. The relationship between these 2 variables is shown in the figure. According to the above situation, we made several research hypotheses. The first is in terms of preferred leadership styles. Young people prefer leaders to make fewer decisions and allow employees to make decisions by themselves. In terms of which factors will influence the influence of leadership skills on organization, it is more in favor of emotional factors. Among the highly educated people, leaders are more inclined to pay more attention to supervision, organization, and performance in terms of their preferred leader styles. And in terms of which factors will influence of leadership skills on the organization, communication is preferred. In terms of preferred leader styles, people in high positions are more likely to have individual control of all decisions and less influences from the team. In terms of which factors will influence the leadership skills on the organization, communication is preferred. About our research methodology, qualitative and literature studies were used in this design. The purpose of qualitative research is to explore the nature of the research objective, discover the characteristics of the research object, and analyze it, explore the reasons. Literature research is very economical, through which large amount of information can be collected. Objective definitions are needed to clarify research tools such as questionnaires. About the samples and the sampling method, the sample of the survey was 40 respondents of different ages and occupations. This allows us to gather different opinions across age groups and across positions. In this way, it is more convenient for us to summarize and compare. In our opinion, different ages have different views on the influence of the leaders on organizations, and the different positions have different understandings in this issue. There are bound to be some difference.
From our analysis of the questionnaire, first our group introduced and explained the content of the research topic, namely leadership. Leadership is considered the process by which one or more people influence the group of people and a certain direction. Leadership is one of the main determinants of the success of any business, organization, and country. The term leadership has been used in all aspects of human, such as politics, business, academics, and social work. We put forward follow our core questions and our research. Questionnaires and data analysis will mainly focus on the following 4 questions for the deeper understanding and better analysis. Through SPSS, we use various and descriptive curves and analyze our data. These details can support us to make the conclusion. And next part is conclusion. Let me introduce our first conclusion of these 4 questions. What factors affect the control of leadership skills over organization? We want to know what factors can help improve the control of organization leadership skills so that the organization can be better control its own development. We obtain data for analysis based more on work and work experience, how to implement leadership skills in organization. After exploring these factors, you can use short answer questions or multiple choice questions to filter out leadership skills that will make respondents more acceptable. You can also view them through subsequent data analysis and variance. For which leadership skills are better for leading organizations? So the third question, we hope to understand the advantages of the organization and more acceptable leadership skills from the perspective of organization so that we can use the same analysis method to judge it closer to the front and back. Outstanding skills in different identities contribute to organizational development. For the last question is, what are the roles of different leadership styles in organization? For the last question, since it relatively broad questions, it may involve the diversity of answers. We choose short question and multiple choice questions for analysis. According to the feedback from the questionnaire, the above 4 leadership styles have different functions.